If you're tracking every dollar and you still feel broke, this is why. Most high earners think that tracking is the answer, but it actually might be what is keeping you stuck. You've downloaded all the budgeting apps, you've checked through your statements to figure out all the different transactions that you've made, and then maybe moved on to categorizing those different expenses. It feels like you're on top of things, but that's the hidden trap. It makes you feel like you're productive, but what it's actually doing is just giving you information. It's not really giving you any direction. When you're only tracking, there's no real strategy there. And that's why it's a hidden reason why so many smart women get stuck. It's almost like if you're driving on a highway and all you're really looking at is the speed limit without really checking a map of where you're actually going. What do you do if a big expense pops up, or maybe you end up overspending in a moment of stress? Or even you have a family and you just out of the blue decide, you know what, it'd be nice to just have this quick little getaway today. I worked with a couple who had big financial goals. They wanted to save for their kids' college and also be able to save for emergency fund for anything that could happen down the road. Now, her husband had a detailed spreadsheet because he tracked all of the spending of all the previous months and things like that. He was very on top of all that. But here's the problem. The wife, she was the one making all the purchases, for the kids or for what they need to eat, for the school activities and things like that. And whenever he would show her the reports and want to talk to her about these things of what had been purchased, she would mainly just not really want to talk about it. It seemed very daunting to get all this data in front of her. She really just let him handle all of that. But you see, there's a disconnect there. He's the one looking at the money, but she's the one making the purchases. And they had all this financial information, and yet they still weren't making progress towards their goal. What was constantly on their mind is if what they were saving was enough. And so all that tracking was just showing them where their money had gone. It wasn't really helping them make better decisions going forward. Tracking ahead helps you look back, but planning, that's what's actually going to help you move forward. And that's why I teach my clients a different approach, one that asks, what's coming up for me next week or next month? What actually matters to you right now in this moment? And how can we make your money reflect that? It's not about obsessing over every dollar. I really don't want you to be wasting your time so much into that too, because what we did last month, our spending patterns last month, may not be the same this next month either. And so we're wasting our time really trying to hone in on that when things can change week to week, month to month. It's really about creating a simple structure that really helps you make clear, confident decisions before your next paycheck comes in. Tracking your money isn't wrong, it just isn't complete. And a lot of times when it comes to tracking, people tend to create so many different categories, which just makes it so complicated. And what I know to be true is that people will stick with a spending plan if it's easy to manage and less time consuming. So if your current budget still feels like a struggle, it isn't how hard you're trying, it's probably the way you have it set up. I'll show you 3 shifts that have helped my clients build a budgeting system that actually works with their life, not against it. And so that if you're working towards paying off your debt, you don't just pay it off, you're able to stay out of it for good.